Hey y'all, it's Chris with a K here with a review for the newly released vampire horror comedy, Abigail. Put on your finest garment for the ballet, and let's go. Abigail follows a group of hired guns that kidnap the daughter of a wealthy stranger, only to discover that she's actually a tiny little monster, blood-sucking fiend, and have to work together in order to survive the next 24 hours. Radio Silence is the team behind this film, as well as the latest Scream entries, and their passion for practical effects would make any horror fan giddy. Going into this movie, you can expect a spectacle of blood and gore that is sure to satiate even your unquenchable thirst, at least for a couple hours. The humor in this movie derives from the characters' interactions with one another, as well as their reactions to the absurd and terrifying events that unfold before them. The most important element of most vampire flicks is how cool is your vampire? Alicia Weir plays the titular villain Abigail, and wow, she really does chew on that scenery. She's a delightfully fun movie monster that revels in her wickedness and flexes with some of that choreography that they give her. The movie's success hinges on her ability to be a captivating, charismatic antagonist, and every moment she's on screen, she's serving it to us. Kudos to her for her performance, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of her in the future. Now let's talk protagonist. Melissa Barrera plays the lead of the film, rocking a haircut that reminds her of when she was just 16 in the Bronx, running up and down the block. Crazy girl.
That crazy little girl who used to
Her character is the straight man moral center, haunted by her choices in the past that the events of the film allow her to come to terms with and maybe even redeem herself from. I'll start off by saying we stand Melissa Barrera in this house, and we support her for standing by her convictions with the Scream 7 drama. But the issue I'm consistently having with Melissa Barrera is her roles. She's often surrounded by charismatic ensemble players. When she's surrounded by all these eccentric characters, she just comes off as a wet blanket sometimes, here to kill the vibe.
Well, then go upstairs and go to bed if you don't want to have fun. Hell.
She's more fun to watch when she's allowed to be unhinged. I'd love to see her in some roles that she can really have some fun with. Speaking of that eccentric ensemble cast, like any successful horror slasher, the cast members each have their own distinctive quirks that easily identifies them from each other. As mentioned before, they're the source of where most of the humor in this film comes from, because it's not from Melissa Barrera. They act as the comedic relief and cannon fodder to the film's body count. Angus Cloud was a standout for me. He's so likable and charismatic, and every line delivery that he had always got a chuckle out of me. Giancarlo Esposito is a delight in everything he's in, so no surprise there. And Catherine Newton was given the best scenes by far. And of course, I would never neglect to talk about my boyfriend, Dan Stevens. Dan Stevens is having a great month. He's got Godzilla X Kong, he's got Abigail, he's got Cuckoo. I've been a fan of Dan Stevens since 2017's Legion, and I'm loving how much I'm seeing his name on my feed. Dan Stevens plays the archetypal... Is that a word? Hold on. Archetypal. Dan Stevens plays the... Stevens? Yeah, Dan Stevens? Stevens. Oh my god. Christopher. Dan Stevens plays the archetypal asshole character, which pretty much every horror movie has. But his comedic talents are still very much on display. His chemistry with his scene partners is always on point, and his character's journey is an exciting adventure to watch. Every single thing that Dan Stevens does in this movie, I want him to do to me. And I realize that that's unhealthy, and a little problematic. But this is my truth, and I thank you for hearing me. Abigail overall is a very fun, bloody good time, with some good laughs, stellar performances across the board, and a new movie monster that we can really get behind and stand. Catch me at Abigail 2, Abigail again. So have you seen Abigail yet? What'd you think about it? What was your favorite scenes or set pieces? Any favorite deaths? My favorite scene would have to be the twin ballet dancing scene with Catherine Newton and Alicia Weir. That was mine. Don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to keep up on my unsolicited opinions for any future movies and TV shows. And if you enjoyed this video, let me know by sinking your teeth into that like button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.